So what is going on, guys? I'm back with another video. Sorry it took me a while to upload. I am currently on vacation, actually. I am off by the river, which is pretty cool. And yeah, the fishing has not been good. So anyway, I'll just get into it. So I have a Discord. I have a Discord. You can see it's Haydendale/History Guy. My Discord tag will be in the link below if you wanna copy it and whatever. But anyway, so I am a Christian. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I am a Christian. Alright, so if anyone ever asks you, I'm a Christian. And I love God and I believe He's 100% real. So, I have a little debate that I had with my man CT Sports. And I'm not trying to diss on him, I'm just trying to say, guys, don't back down for people that try to prove that God is not real. I am on my Dr. Witnesser's chat, Alright, so we started off, he was talking a little bit, they're arguing. I kind of was just, reading their thing. So this is when it really starts. I'm 15 as well. I'd said I'm 15, and he has a passion for what he believes, politics or religion. And originally, what he said, it sounded like he was a Christian, and the word he typed in was anti-theist, which I thought he meant anti-atheist. Where is it? Okay, I can't find it, but he said it. I know he said it, but he says later on also. So, he said he has passion. He asked me if I believe in the Big Bang Theory. Now, I do not believe in the Big Bang Theory. I'm a Christian. Big Bang Theory is basically saying that it all, just happened in a boom. So I said, I have the same passion, just not as much experience as you. Because you can tell by the way he's arguing. He's arguing fairly well. And I said, I'm a Christian. Because he said, do you believe in the Big Bang Theory? He came out saying that some Christian thinkers believe the Big Bang Theory is real, but that God caused the Big Bang. Which that's contradicting, because the Big Bang is chance and God is not chance. He's real. He's, if you do something on purpose, it's not chance, it's purpose. So God had a purpose. So that's contradicting. I capitalized as God. He didn't know it was a capital word, which I originally thought he was a Christian, and he did that. I'm like, wow. So I said, that's a weird combo. That's a weird combo for a Christian and an atheist, or a Christian and a Big Bang Theory. And he said, because of all the evidence. Now, they don't really have evidence. They have very, very minimal evidence. So that because we don't have all the because of all the evidence, it was kind of like a what is it called when you say something but you're trying to, it's like a bluff almost. There we go, that's the word. I told him basically you always capitalize the one true God, but you don't capitalize little g gods or mini gods. And then he came out with this weird statement. Due to the expanding of the universe and all of the space being one out of, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, ten, hundreds. Okay, that is really hard to read. Ones, tens, hundreds. Okay, that's 100,000. That's a 1 in 100,000 of a degree above absolute zero. So, I don't know what that means. The degree of the universe, or the expanding universe, and all the space is that close of a degree of absolute zero. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Anyway, I think he's just trying to sound smart to me, to basically make me think that I'm facing a really tough opponent. But in God's sight, every giant is just another Philistine. They use that in the analogy of David and Goliath. I'm not good at science. I said that because I didn't really understand what he was saying, and I basically wanted him to think that not that he was a better arguer, but just maybe that he has more of a science knowledge, which, I mean, he probably does, so I'm not even a big deal about forfeiting that. If the Bible said that the Big Bang happened and God created it, I would be a Christian. So he believes in the Big Bang. But if God created it and the Big Bang were combined, like I said, it would be a contradiction. It would be completely false. It's either one or the other. You cannot be true and you cannot be a false person and a true person at the same time. You are one or the other. I said, so I understand minimal of the statement, meaning the 1 out of 100,000. So you aren't a Christian. I thought he was originally. And then he said the Kobe, he misspoke. It's not satire, it's satellite. Detected that all of space is 1 out of that many of a degree above zero heat. Space is that of a degree of zero heat. So that means that basically it's almost absolute 0 degrees in there, which doesn't really make sense because there's sun and you've got to wear a suit, and then it's also super hot or super cold. It's like the desert. It's really super hot or super cold. Stephen Hawking called it the greatest discovery of time. I don't know what the Kobe satellite is because I didn't understand he meant satellite. And then Stephen Hawking, I have no idea who that is. But as you know, he's probably referring to another Big Bang theorist or whatever. So I was still confused. Was he a Christian? Whoops. I better turn off my notifications. I guess it's a little too late to do it now. I'll just swipe up. Sorry about that, guys. So he is not a Christian. So he said, if the Bible said that the Big Bang happened and God created it, I would be Christian. I basically just copy and pasted what he said. And I was super confused. And he's an anti-theist. I thought he meant an anti-atheist. Like I said, that's where the anti-atheist thing came in. I'm an anti-theist, which means he's anti-God, which means every God that is or was thought to be, he's against. So he believes in humanism, basically. Humans are the greatest good. See, he believes in 3 things. He says he believes that God didn't exist, God would suck if he exists, and religion does more harm than good. So this is when I fully understood he does not actually believe in Christ. So he said, and religion has done more harm than good. And I said that's debatable, which is kind of ironic because it's a theology debate. Or whatever it's called, like a section, you know what I mean? So I mean, I kind of resaid what do you mean 3 things. Didn't completely understand what he said because, I was just getting started, just getting warmed up, Yeah, I stated basically what he said. I'm like, okay, I finally know what it is. Here, let me see the time that this started. He started around 8:56. And then we went back to 9. Okay, so 9. As it is 11 right now. So that's actually a while. Where are we? By the way, I know you were talking through phones, so don't tell. So he basically thought that I was angry or vice versa. I don't care if people are angry or not. Anger is an emotion. I'd understand if, angry at me trying to talk to them. But if you're angry at that, then why are you in a Christian server? This is a Christian server, Christian Minecraft server. About debating. I don't know if you guys know it, but mods will ban or time you out if you say bad words or stuff like that. So I said, yeah, it's a debate. I don't know why other people think it's angry. So I said, what is the main point that you say that God isn't real? He's basically pulling out. Saying that a magic man, he's not magic. He's spiritual and he's divine. Makes everything is a magnificent claim. and he thinks that there needs to be more evidence. I misspoke right here. I guess I could have edited it, but so I got sidetracked maybe watching Live PD, but okay. So I will start the actual argument soon, just because I was sidetracked. Watching on Live PD. I didn't know if he would actually stay or not, so I didn't try to argue. But once the Live PD got over, boy, you better bet I got up and I got ready. So, you think the Bible is false. He said parts, most of it. So, if he believes that Jesus is divine, that means that he either is contradicting himself, that the Bible is not true, or Jesus and the Bible are contradicting. Now, Jesus is in the Bible, and Jesus states the Bible, the Word. The Word was with God, and Word was God. That is Jesus. Alright? So, he thinks other parts are dangerous. I said, how is it dangerous if it isn't real? He never answered that. Okay? So, this kind of gave me a spark of, oof, that was a heavy blow. He did not even try to block. He just let it pass. Didn't even argue against it. I try to argue against every single thing he says. If I miss it one or two, I'll try to solve it later on. And I'll basically say it. But he actually left a couple of points out. So he didn't even answer that one. He said we know Jesus was a real person. And there's secondary sources outside of Bible. So Jesus is a person. He is real. Whether he's divine or not, well, Christians believe he is and others don't. So, he said there's no divinity proof of Jesus. They only know that he died on a cross. And I mentioned, what are the Dead Sea Scrolls? If you guys don't know what the Dead Sea Scrolls are, you can look them up. They're a scroll that was found, and they're actually saved. They're kind of tearing apart now because they're really old, but they are still trying to be preserved. And I believe they translated everything. I hope they've translated everything. But you can always fact check on me. Always fact check everything I say. Because if I'm a Christian and I say one thing and it contradicts what you thought the Bible says, I am wrong. The Bible is always 100% true. But you got to be careful what type of Bible, because some people try to make knockoff Bibles to confuse the Christians that are trying to learn more about God. He had no idea what they were, so I basically told him to look it up and see what it is. It explains more of the biblical times and stuff like that. And he's like, whoa, cool. I don't know if that was sarcastic or he was actually genuinely surprised. I'm like, why would we change our calendar for if Jesus wasn't divine, I mean, and then I give an example, BC, before Christ, AD, in the year of our Lord, Anno Domini. It's Latin. Took Latin for like 6 years. So, because people believed in it. So we changed the calendar because people believed in it. And it took place in the most literate parts of the world where there were so many idiots that followed him. He used the word idiots. That is... Hold up, let me pull it up. It's what's it called? I can't remember what it is. So it's actually a fallacy, which if you don't know what a fallacy is, it is a statement, but it's a false statement. So if I said all white people are rude, of course it's a false statement. It's a fallacy. So that's a fallacy that he said. That it's basically fallacy distraction. So he's trying to, not distraction. He's trying to. I'm gonna remember it later on in the video, hopefully, or maybe I'll put it in the description if I can't remember. But basically, it means you're trying to take a stab at someone without even fully understanding. So he's basically saying everyone was an idiot to follow him. And then I asked him if we could call because it would be a little easier. I'm kind of glad we didn't call because, we would probably still be arguing. And, that's a whole hour of arguing, which I'm down for that. but if you guys notice, it's PM and it's almost bedtime. You know what I mean? So he said, I can't, sorry, Papa. Planes at Mars 6. I don't know what it is, whatevs. Okay. So I said they are smart back in. Now, atheists believe, or not atheists, well, I guess atheists can't believe it, but evolutionists believe mainly that we were dumber back then and smarter now. And Christians believe we were smarter then and dumber now. Maybe not smarter than dumber, but more better, not quality, but better quality bodies, if that makes sense. Because now we've perverted our bodies with, sexual immorality, drugs, alcohol, blah, 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 stuff that ruins our body. I mean, they were eating fruit and meat, and now we're eating processed chips. You know what I mean? So then he kind of had an argument against this. That was a malfeasance, basically saying it was wrong. If Jesus took place in China, no one would believe it. I don't know why he said that. China is against Christianity. I believe you can't even, if the government finds out, they kick you out or they put you in trouble, which is kind of stupid. I said their genes are phenomenal, that's why they live so long. If you guys have heard of Methuselah, I actually put it down. He said that it's stupid to think they'll live longer than this. I misspelled capacity. Okay, it's okay. I said Methuselah lived over 900 years. That's a lot. He lived, I think it was 936 or 939, somewhere around that mark, 963. I know it had a number with a 9, a 6, a 3. I know 900 at least. But anyway, we barely live over 100 years now, which, you could look up the oldest person, right now, and it's probably 104. It's really hard to live that long, just because our bodies are so, junky now, because we sit down and stare at a screen for 16 hours, or we eat junk food, processed food, blah, blah, blah. He looked it up and it said to have lived over 90 years, so said to. So he's basically trying to say that it is not true. He said, brother, you can't even believe everything you read, man. And then I took a little stab because I wanted to. I said to have made a Big Bang. He's like, pardon? I have evidence. You don't. Which he never really even stated the evidence. He just said he has evidence and then never stated evidence. I even later on asked him, where's the evidence? And he didn't really provide me. So I said, okay, lay down the evidence right here, okay? And then I said, more people does not equal evidence. And if Big Bang is chance, then what is chance that every action has a reaction? When I say that, why do lights turn on? Because we flick the light switch. Or because there was electrical movement. Why does a car move when we push it? Because it uses the wheels and the kinetic energy. Why does rain rain? Because of the condensation in the clouds. Everything, I'm going to butcher this, alright, but it's okay. Everything has an equal and opposite reaction. It's basically what it is. Alright, sorry, I've been kind of explaining a lot. More people, he misinterpreted what I said. He didn't see the not equals, but he said more people equals evidence would be one of the stupidest arguments in the world. And I said, I agree. It is the stupidest argument in the world because a lot of people do believe nothing and everything and something, and we're all split up. Didn't we also used to believe in alchemy and astrology? If you guys don't know what that is, alchemy is mixing metals to form gold or a valuable metal. And astrology is looking at the stars and basically saying, for example, I'm June. I was born in June, so that makes me a Gemini. That's I believe it's June and July that are Gemini. You can fact check me on that, but it's not even real, so you don't even have to. And basically these different things meant different traits. So Gemini is twin in Latin. I don't remember what exactly it does, But yeah, they use constellations to tell your birthday. It's really stupid. It's not even real. I said, I thought he was trying to use more people to belief or evidence, not belief. So more people to evidence. So yeah, he basically said, I didn't see it. He said Edwin Hubble would deduce that the universe expanding. Now, if you guys don't know who Edwin Hubble is, I couldn't remember who he was at first. He was the dude that made the Hubble telescope, as you see down here. And he basically deduced that the universe is expanding, and then if you reversed it basically to where it was declining, so we are going to the past, then it would collapse at a rough center point. So basically he's saying that because of that, then the world would have been a bang because it had to start at some point. Well, I mean, if you think about it, guys, everything starts at some point. So, I mean, that could be true, but God made it. So, if that is true that it would collapse, that's probably because God made it at that point. Alright? Regardless if God made it or if the quote-unquote Big Bang, which is not real, made it, it has to start somewhere. Anyway, I said, I will look it up, meaning the Hubble dude, but then he said a Hubble telescope, so I realized who he was. Kobe satellite found that the universe. I said this part. I don't really understand what he meant, but I said, well, I know that old equals false is not true, but we have discovered more, which can negate our past. Like, we might have thought everything false, but then we discovered helium in balloons. Then we're like, whoa, that's false. That one counterexample completely ruins the argument. We have to make a new one. Everything that has blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Well, then we found out gravity and anti-gravity. Then we're like, whoa, we've got to adjust it and change it, and we put it out. And we're always learning. So we can't always say, concrete, physical things, ideology is 100% true, because it's not. All right? These are massive discoveries. And I said define massive. I don't know why I put a question mark. That was an accident, but we're not going to talk about it. Massive discoveries that are scientific. Well, we're always learning. So what is massive? One that is massive right now could be nothing in the next 100 years because we found more and more and more out. That's the beauty of God's creation. We're always finding out more. He's like, how old do you think the world is? I said around 10,000 years. I mean, I can't remember how long I've been told. I think it was around 10,000 years. I said maybe a tad less. And then he's like, so that's incredibly wrong. I'm like, this dude's going to say millions. So I go, it's not millions. And he goes, obviously, it's about 6.5 billion, 4.5 billion. So he believes that the world is so much older. And so when I went to a cave once, and basically they said that it took millions and millions and billions, blah, 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 basically a long time for the stalactites and mites to grow in caves. If you guys don't know what that is, look up a picture, you'll realize what it is. And people had made concrete steps to go down to the cave. And when they had gone down there, they realized stalactites and mites had grown through the concrete, meaning that they can't take millions and billions of blah, blah, blah years to grow because it just grew through concrete. Anyway, that's what I was basically explaining. So it was a little bunny trail because I've been told the atheists believe that, so I thought he did. Anyway, moving on. If the Big Bang created the world, why is everything so intricate? You've seen the Fibonacci spiral, right? Haven't you? Now, if you guys do not know what the Fibonacci spiral is, the Fibonacci spiral is found in many things. It's found in flowers, some flowers. It's not found in all flowers, just some of them. It's found in what are they called? Pine cones, I believe, and a bunch of other things. Shells have them, and it's a mathematical pattern: 1 1 2 3 5 8 13 8 13. Yeah, 5 8 13. Yeah, sorry, 21 34. Blah blah 55, and it just goes on and on and on. It's a whatever it's called. It's a pattern, and you're just adding the past number to the current number, and you're getting it. So basically he's saying, so stalactites grow, so of course they go through the concrete. He didn't completely understand what I was saying. We'll just skip that because it's not a big point. So I said, if the Big Bang created the world, why is everything so intricate? You've seen the Fibonacci spiral, haven't you? I repeated what I said because he would not answer me. And that's a big flag for he doesn't know. But he's afraid to admit he does not know. He says those people are incorrect. So you're using the fine-tuning argument. Let me for 1 second grant you that. Then I don't understand completely what he meant grant you it. Fine-tuning argument. He said that it's an incorrect argument, which I do not find any incorrectness in the argument, because of course God created the world, so evolution is false, then therefore chance is not available. I mean, if you go out in the street and you never give homeless people money, but you give this homeless person money, what are the chances that one homeless person needed $20 and you gave them $20? What are the chances? The chances are not real. I mean, yes, you can find chance, but chance is not as realistic in creation as purpose, alright? So he says fine-tuning is an argument used by believers to say that the world could not be so unique if God hadn't created it. Which, I mean, God created it. So that means that everything is purpose. So I don't understand what his reasoning was, where the fallacy. Basically, I asked him later on where the fallacy was, which I'll show you guys. I said, how did the Greek... So he basically said, I forget where he said it, but he said, all you've said is that there is a God, not that it's the one in the Bible. So I tried and took a different approach. So I said, how did the Greeks know that they were worshiping their gods? They created the gods. They made images of the gods, and they worshipped it. I said, but the thing is, we believe in a God that is not specific to the thing. The Greeks believed in the God of TVs, the God of lights, the God of love, the God of, they believed in specific gods for everything. You know how much work that is? You have no idea. I don't know if you guys knew this. I'll give you history lessons later. But the gods, they weren't real, but they were actually demons or fallen angels. I believe that they used fallen angels or demons to worship, and they were in constant fear. The Greeks were, because had they made one move wrong, then Zeus would spike them or strike them down, or Poseidon would flood them and drown them, or Hades would swallow them up. Stuff like that. And that's scary. You would be in constant fear. So how is that good? So I said, but we believe in a God that is not specific to something but everything. He is everything. He is everything. Alright? He's a God of love. He's a God of, creation. He's a creator. And in order to be everything, there has to be a creator of everything. So if we believe that God created everything, that means that God created everything. That's kind of circular reasoning. But I mean, you can't disprove God. So if you can't disprove him, you have to prove him. But if you can't prove him, then you can't disprove him. But if you can't disprove him, you can't prove him. that was kind of looped. But what I'm saying is, if a Christian wants to prove God and an anti-Christian wants to disprove him, they can't do it. Because you need to know everything that is in the world to know that God is not real. And you don't need to know everything in the world to know that you need to know, if you are wanting to disprove him, then you have to know everything in the world. But if you're wanting to prove God, you just need to know God. That's all you need to know. So I said, where's the fallacy of fine-tuning? Because, he told me that I could use it that once. And so he left the point. He said, if the world did not have the right elements for life, we would not be having this conversation. Well, of course not. So it's created with the right elements. The fact that we are means that the super weird chance that it could sustain life with us. I have no idea what this thing right here means. This quote, all right. I have no idea. But all I know is that he is not in the right belief. So the other planets didn't get as lucky. So that means other life forms weren't on that planet because their planets aren't suitable for life. So the fact we're having this conversation means that there was 100% chance of that happening. What is chance? It's not chance that it's happening because it's happening. If there is 100% chance of something, it is no longer chance. It is a reality. God is real. All right. I said, explain the mathematics. What is that 50 million 0% thing? But he said, but with all the other planets out there, it works out. I have no idea what that means. So I asked him, what is the weird number? And I said, does the Fibonacci spiral look better than the other garbage spirals and formations? I had no idea what he meant by that. I said it's mathematically correct. And I think he thought that I meant that his math was correct when I was really referring to mine. So I said 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34. That is the Fibonacci spiral, as I was talking about earlier. And then I said they add up, I think, by mass or quantities. I said, so you never explained why the fine-tuning argument is a fallacy. And it's been a while, so I go, why did you leave? I added him, so he had a notification. I said, looking up arguments, perhaps? And then I did a laughing emoji. At me when you're ready. Now, if you notice, it was 10:25 when I said that. It is 10:46 down here when I sent the image. So, as you see now, it's 11:25. It's been an hour since he stopped arguing. Alright, so I'll show you what this Pascal's wager. I looked this up and sent the image. So if you see this, if you believe in God, you have eternal happiness. But if God does not exist, nothing happens. But if you don't believe in God and God is real, you have eternal damnation, which is in hell. But if God does not exist and you don't believe in God, nothing happens. Alright? It's called a Pascal's wager. I learned that in logic class. Kind of couldn't remember what it was. Finally figured out what it was called by looking through the keywords. But anyway, yeah. This is, I think one of my first debates, just randomly on a Discord server. I'll tell you that. I've had a debate twice on Twitch live streams. But anyway, every single one of them flaked out, except for one guy. But he kind of had the upper hand because, I say he has the upper hand. He didn't have the upper hand because his religion is completely false. What he thinks is completely false. But I'm saying he had the upper hand because he was asking vague questions, which basically made me not understand And he used that to basically say, well, if you don't understand what that is, then you're obviously not smart enough to really. And he was using looping points and fallacies and all that good stuff. But anyway, hope you did enjoy the video. I will be doing a lot more of this because I enjoy debating against people like this, because it's not that it brings me a joy to see people debating. It brings me a joy for me to be able to spread the gospel, whether that be through debating or whatever, YouTube videos. If you know, so I'm gonna be posting probably a what is it called? Like episodes now, like I do with my Minecraft videos and all that. So I mean, I guess this is episode 1. Maybe I'll have to make a couple more if I really wanna make some episodes out of this. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Catch you next video. Blah blah blah. If you guys do have questions, just DM me on Discord, which I will give you my Discord in the description. And then if you want to, or you can just talk to me through YouTube, or Twitch. You know my stuff. See you guys.